welcome to the Bearhug Club, a pro wrestling podcast of positivity.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bearhug Club podcast. As always, I am your host, Greg, and I'm joined by my boos, Garrett and Jace. How's it going, boys?
Hello.
Hello.
Don't play me like that, Garrett. You're a pack of bastards, the pair of you. Yeah, it's all.
How we do.
It's all in good fun. Anyway, so carried on from last week, we did a bit of fantasy booking, which Jace kindly went through how he would rebook Shayna Baszler's sort of debut on the main roster. Did pretty well, although we had a few little notes about it, but it was generally quite fun. We said we were going to kind of be doing... Our part two is just that we kind of came up with two different ideas for doing fantasy booking, so this was like the other option, and we're kind of trying to decide if we want to do both going forward or pick one over the other for formatting. I mean, generally, I quite like the idea of both because it's a bit different for each one. So essentially, it's going to be what we're calling fantasy booking head-to-head. So the way it's going to work is we've each sort of come up with a fantasy booking scenario, meaning there will be 3 different scenarios in total. The person who proposed the scenario then lets the other two take about 5 minutes to think about how they would book it, and then they'll present it. The person who proposed the scenario is then responsible for choosing who they think came up with the best booking, and the person who wins booking for most scenarios is then declared the winner, and we will have a tie break if it's a case there is tie points on that. I think that's all pretty straightforward, lads. Any questions before we get into it?
Let's go.
No.
Let's go. So if you want, I'll take it with propose my scenario first, if that's cool with you guys. Cool. So the scenario I'm proposing is the Fiend versus Abadon in the Ultimate Spookum Match.
Okay.
So I'm basically leaving it up to you guys to determine what you think an Ultimate Spookum Match should be and how it would play out between the two.
All right. Who goes first? And how long do we have?
Well, you've got like a few minutes to try and come up with some stuff, but if you think you're ready, just throw it out there, and I'll let you.
Oh, I'm ready.
You're ready.
Let's just go.
Fucking go for it then. Roll.
Okay. We're gonna start right now. Right. The Royal Rumble has just happened. Randy Orton has begun to sort of throw up black bile, as he is doing now. You know who else we've seen kind of do that a little bit? We've kind of seen Abadon do that here and there. It's going to lead into that a little bit later. Anyway, you have their spooky WrestleMania match. They have their Firefly Funhouse match. And he just keeps, like, he's doing all right, but he just keeps getting something, like, lodged in his throat. The Fiend, lapping this up. You can tell he's really fucking. He's really going for it. Alexa Bliss, of course, ringside, and then finally he throws up. Like I say, red liquid. Remember that time Finn Balor got doused in red fluid or whatever because they didn't want to call it blood.
Yeah.
We'll have him throw up a bunch of fluid, right? Slightly more red than it is black. And it just makes a massive pool on the ring, right? Fiend goes to pin because Randy is incapacitated, probably organ failure, right? You know, that's kidneys gone, right? There's no liver left. Goes to pin. 1, 2, and then the ref is like kind of had to pin near the black liquid, right? From the black liquid that he's just thrown up, out comes a spooky hand, right? And the spooky hand grabs the ref's leg, who stops counting because the pin's been broken, and and the ref like turns and is like, "What? Who is that?" And Alexa Bliss is just like the camera turns to see Alexa Bliss, and she's shocked, and the Fiend is like, "You?" And she's like, "No." And then the ref goes to count again, 1, 2, and then a hand comes out again and grabs his leg, and the ref, pick a referee, pick your favorite. Why? Charles. Why not? Charles is so terrified he runs out of the arena, and the lights begin to flicker, not go off, right? Because this is part of the spookums that's going to happen. The lights begin to flicker, and the liquid begins to bubble as a hand comes. Oh fuck! The hand comes out, and from the spooky liquid in this like spooky strobe, you can even do that like awful evil sound effect they do, where it's like Abadon just comes from the liquid, right, and is just stood there. Then you turn the lights off, and she's gone. He could get the pin, I guess. At that point, I don't think either of them care about winning. Maybe even Orton could do it, and it's a distraction from Abadon, whatever. Anyway, here's what you do from there. You set it up. Everyone's like, what the fuck was that? Why was she on WWE? There's probably a partnership. That's the biggest story. Everyone's like, Omega against Reigns. Ugh. But really, we know that the biggest story is Abadon against The Fiend in the ultimate Spookum match, I guess. You keep the feud going. He's wrestling other people. Abadon just has some matches on Dark and a couple matches on the main show. And then eventually you just have Alexa Bliss show up backstage at AEW, you know? And she's just kind of asking around, like doing this like cutesy Firefly Funhouse thing where she's just like, yeah, hey, where's Abadon? Maybe you do this on Wednesday, right? Obviously on AEW, while NXT is going on as well. And while literally simultaneously you have both shows like show like images, you know, like next to each other, and Abadon has gone to the performance center where everything's happening, and is attacking Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, and just is like tormenting Alexa Bliss, who has gone to AEW to try and find Abadon, right? You make her the ultimate spookum, because no one can out spook the Fiend until it happens. You do this a couple times. She just shows up on wherever Bray Wyatt goes, who's just trying to hide. Maybe the Fiend hasn't been seen in a while. Bray Wyatt can play the scared character. And just because I really like Bo Dallas, have her attack Bo Dallas. Just because I want to give him some screen time and I really like Bo Dallas. All right? I like the Rotundas. They're cool guys, from what I know. I guess you get to SummerSlam, and they've built up a match between Abadon and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is like, please stop hurting my spooky Fiend daddy, I guess. What else would that relationship be? Please stop hurting my...
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt.
Stop hurting my spooky Fiend daddy. They have the match. It's just that you just do a solid kind of spooky match. Maybe you do it at the Wyatt compound or something. Why not? Throw it back to that.
It burnt down.
Exactly.
It's just
you do it in the burnt ruins of it, right? Oh, that's it, right? Thank you. They go to the Wyatt compound, and it's like, well, it's burnt down, right? But then you see a light coming from like in the rubble, and there is a secret basement.
Oh, spooky basement.
Right, and then you have a bunch of like evil writing on the wall in that like black liquid. I don't know. Randy Orton is hanging from the rafters. I don't know, something spooky. And it reveals that Abadon was Sister Abigail all along, and Alexa Bliss is not. And then you lead to the ultimate Spookum match, which is a Sister Abigail on a pole match where Abadon and the Fiend in the Ultimate Spookum Match are vying for the soul of Sister Abigail, who is trapped inside Alexa Bliss. And the Ultimate Spookum Match is just like, maybe it's not even like announced. Maybe you just think it's going to be like they each have a match, and they open the door to like a dressing room, and they're suddenly outside. Or they open like a door, and they're suddenly in the Wyatt compound, or they're suddenly in, I don't know. Let's give Abadon a spooky house as well, because I guess she's got a spooky house. Everyone needs if you're a spooky character, you need a spooky house. Like you're a pretty spooky character, Greg. You got a spooky house.
I live in a spooky house.
Pigeons all around.
Yeah, exactly.
And there we go. You go to the Ultimate Spookum Match. The winner gets the soul of Sister Abigail, and I guess the Fiend wins with an interference from Randy Orton, and then you rehash that story.
Bam! Thank you very much, pal.
I just love it when they have the maggots projected onto the floor, because that's so it was amazing. Wow,
that's the best WrestleMania moment ever. Thank you very much, Garrett. Jace, have you got your own pitch to go ahead against that?
I've got the startings of one.
Okay. Well, I'll get the timer ready, and then I'll let you know when you can go. Bear with. Right, and off you go.
So, to me, the Ultimate Spookum Match isn't a match. The Ultimate Spookum Match is a contest between Abadon and the Fiend. So, night after Mania, Abadon, Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, is having a match on Raw. Getting the best of someone like T-Bar. And Abadon comes out and spooks Bray Wyatt. Spooks him. He's spooked. And everyone's like, what the hell was that? Why? Next week on Raw, Firefly Funhouse. Bray Wyatt today talks about it. He's like, I was spooked. Wednesday on Dynamite, Abadon's in a match against, I don't know. I know she's pregnant, but Brandy Rhodes, just because I can't stand her.
She's not pregnant at the time, right?
No.
Okay, good.
I've got nothing against the unborn child.
Abadon against the 3-month-old Rhodes baby.
Yeah.
Against the fetus.
Yeah. And then the Fiend comes out, spooks Abadon. She's spooked. She was the victim of a spooking. And then it's just going back and forth, and then eventually they both get together on the Firefly Funhouse, and they've both got whiteboards at either side, and they're just keeping a tally of how many times they've managed to spook each other. It's just a fun little segment. And I know that picture's shit, but I don't know enough about Abadon to give a proper pitch. So that's it. Just a fun little contest.
So is that it? Is that the end of your pitch, pal?
Yeah, that's the end of my pitch.
I definitely stole a lot of his time, to be fair.
You did. Well, we're still working out the format, but I mean, you kind of tried to live up to what I pitched, but the fact that it wasn't a match means I probably couldn't give you the point on this because Garrett at least led to something.
I don't know enough about AEW wrestlers.
Well, you should.
I know I should. I don't have time to watch everything.
That is true. There is a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think for that one, man, I'm just going to have to give it to Garrett.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable. So that's currently 1-0 to Garrett. Who would like to pitch something next?
I'll go.
Okay.
How would you book Aleister Black on the main roster on Raw?
Okay.
Would you like me to go?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Hit me with that 5-minute timer.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, we have a live. Where is it? Like that way. We have a live bit there that I will know when it is 5 minutes. Wait, and I will start in 3, 2, 1. Now. Okay, so he's just moved up to the main roster. You do your basic vignettes and you do your whatnots and whatever. First things first. You do away with the fucking thing where it creaks when he comes up because it's the worst. Why would it need to creak? All right, that just means he's got default equipment, right? You put some WD-40. That's the first thing he does, right? He comes up, it creaks, and he turns around and he goes, and it's like, damn. And it's like, no man is ever truly good. And he just pulls out some WD-40 and he just, right? And then he goes like, can we do it again? We can do it again, but in his Dutch accent. And then he goes up again, and it doesn't creak. Instantly, the crowd pops. Where was I going with this? What am I doing? Just him on the main roster. I already feel like that's got him over, so that's fine.
That's why he didn't like him. His creaky equipment.
He comes down to the ring.
Doesn't like sneezing and doesn't like creaky equipment.
He's already lost so much muscle. He's not sweaty, and he loses 3 inches in height. He's just doesn't want to be anything that Vince wants. What was I saying? He goes down to the ring. Great wrestling. You just have him be a workhorse because that's what he is. You know, back when he was Tommy End, his matches in NXT just absolutely stand out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think he needs to have this spooky type character to like get over. I don't think he needs to be a Bray Wyatt because he doesn't need it. He's got that like Muay Thai kickboxing style, like with these kind of cool flourishes. If anything, he's almost more like a badass taker than he is a taker, you know? So I would have him. I would bring back King of the Ring. I would have him have a series of matches in King of the Ring and then have him feud with everyone's favorite heel, King Corbin. You finally get to the final of the King of the Ring. He is defending his crown against Aleister Black. You have him kick out of all of Baron Corbin's moves. He finally hits a deep 6 again, just for Aleister Black to just roll out. Catches him with a black mass, puts him down 1, 2, 3, and then he comes out. He takes his crown and he goes at the top of the ramp. Does a little promo. I feel like you have to do a promo if you're King of the Ring. Maybe his promo is like, actually, you know what? No, okay. He beats Baron Corbin by going heel. I turn him heel against Baron Corbin, which is maybe not the best person to do it to, but
are you turning Baron face?
No, but I'm turning him heel. You know, he rolls out and he hits the black mass, but still goes for like a leverage pin, like with his feet on the ropes. Something subtle, but he comes out on Raw with the thing like leaning up, and he's wearing this like gothic evil crown and this like gothic cape. You just have him like hurt people, just destroy them, keep hitting the black mass, have him a bunch of squashes. Finally leads up to the next pay-per-view, and you build him against like a real babyface, a Kofi, or a Chad Gable, or maybe even a Daniel Bryan. No, his match was going to be against Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan gets mysteriously injured, and then someone steps in, like a Kofi or something like that. He absolutely destroys them, hits them with a black mass, pin, and heads to the back. You just have him keep dodging a Daniel Bryan type, and when he comes out on pay-per-view, I would give him like a Balor type look, you know, where I say Prince Devitt type look. I'd give him some kind of face paint. If you look on his Instagram, he's got those like black and white images where he's got like this like almost Alice Cooper type makeup going on. I'd have him start doing that on pay-per-views. Not like supernatural, but just more like war paint and more foreboding when he comes out. And eventually just lead to a match with Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania. And flip a coin for who wins. No, 60-minute time limit draw.
That was pretty much perfectly spot on, right? No, I quite like that. Although as I was sitting there, I was going, damn it, because that was some ideas I had. I mean, I'm probably still going to steal some of them because I've already got some of it. It's going to be a little different. I think we're on the same.
You're just going to edit it so that your one is first.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right, hang on. It's nearly coming up to the minute, so. And here we go. So, kind of same sentiment as Garrett there. I think realistically, obviously, if we're doing this from like now, obviously he's been off TV for a while, so we'll just kind of give him a little bit of a reboot. I'm with you. I don't think he needs to be another Spookum character, but I'd keep obviously the sort of heavy metal sort of aspect to his character because that's very personal to him. It's because he is essentially just a reflection of himself, just dialed up ever so slightly. So you can kind of keep that, keep the heavy music. I'd get rid of the whole raising off the ground thing as well. Keep the candles. You don't need that. Keep the candles. That's cool enough visual in of itself. But what I'd have him do is when he returns to the main roster, I'd first just have a bunch of squash matches, maybe just against some like local talent or jobbers if they can. And what I'd do is kind of like, I guess like a Goldberg kind of run, like he comes out, gets in the ring with them, more or less just hits a black mass straight away and gets the 1-2-3, and you do that and to keep building up to bigger opponents. Eventually, obviously, you got to make the matches a little bit longer. And then what I'd have him do, say, who's the Intercontinental Champion at the moment?
Big E.
Big E, Steve. Big E. Yeah, that could work. So I'd lead in until he keeps beating more and more bigger names, and it leads to him having an IC match with Big E. What I would then do is like it's going to be quite a well-fought contest, but obviously because WWE likes to show off the difference that big men are usually always like stronger than the littler men. What I would have it do at the end, I would have the Viking Raiders come out and align themselves with Aliester, and essentially they help him score the win of the IC title, and they form a new faction called the Death Riders, for example. And at least it somewhat fits because all three of them have got that kind of similar look about them. Obviously, they have an Norse mythology and all that stuff, and I think it ties back into a sort of metal look as well. They've all got tattoos. Why not? Put them together; they'll look cool. So then you've got Aliester, who's the ringleader, who you can still have him go on some amazing matches. He'd just be like, I'd basically use him to try and elevate the IC title and make the mid-card scene more like of a bigger thing than it currently is. Because I think we'd all agree it's kind of been floundering like the last decade or two. Like the IC title hasn't had the prestige it once had. I try and use Aliester like how they should have used it with Daniel Bryan, just to try and elevate and make it a title worth caring about again. So you could just have epic match after epic match. And if you put the tag belts back on the Viking Raiders, then at least you've got like a dominant stable looking there because they've got all the gold. Same with Garrett. I'd also occasionally have him come out in his old look as Tommy End. So I did actually find a picture of it. Hang on. Sorry for the audio listeners, but like that kind of thing, right, Garrett?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like occasionally have him come out in corpse paint if it's a big serious kind of bout, If you like, I guess kind of, I wouldn't build it like Balor's demon per se. It's just like he's very serious about a contest when he has to put that on.
It's like war paint.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make him all of a sudden an unstoppable beast. It just means he's gotten really serious. It's like when wrestlers say, I'm bringing my fucking jeans next week. That means shit's going down. It's
like Brock taking off his gloves or Taker or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then
straps.
Exactly. And then same kind of situation as you. I'd eventually let him build to try and get closer to the main event scene. Again, I like the idea of him and Daniel Bryan, but I really think what could be a good match is him and Brock Lesnar. Now, again, that has to be dependent when if Brock was up for it, but I can just picture the scenario. I think Brock is very given to smaller men. Like he's been very given to people like AJ Styles and Bryan, and I'm sure believably that they could beat him. You add in the fact that Brock's got a UFC background, but Aleister Black's got a background in kickboxing and other martial arts in of itself. I think that could be a really well fought contest, so long as Brock is willing to be, a good boy that night. And yeah, that's sort of essentially my pitch for it. You just basically start them off on like squash matches, which you don't really see for a lot of like smaller guys, but it's believable because that black mass kick. just Yes, but the black mass in itself looks like a devastating move no matter who.
I pulled out my headphones. Hold on.
And yeah, so I think essentially you could build him being an unstoppable beast with that move alone because it's so fast, it's so quick, and it's believable because who wouldn't go down like a sack of shit after being kicked in the head? Keep building, give him the Viking Raiders as a stable, give him the IC belt, let him build up that mid-card division, and then you can start transitioning him to like bigger stuff, like Lesnar. Time.
Yeah, I like them both.
I think they're very similar. We've kind of gone similar lines because that's what you want to kind of do with this, I think.
We both went kind of heel with him. A little bit.
Mine would be not necessarily heel, like kind of, I guess, sort of in the middle.
Take no shit face.
Yeah, like, he's not necessarily good, but he ain't exactly like bad either. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to give it to Greg because he brought the Viking Raiders in it. I love the
he called him War Machine as well. And then he called him War Raiders.
I'm such a mark.
At least you didn't call them the Viking Experience.
I'd have left if I said that.
Yeah, I think we'd have voted you out of the podcast.
Yeah, rightly so. Yeah, I think with that one, at least you're also giving them, because I mean, it's not like they've been doing terrible on the main roster, but then you look at the shit they did with the Street Profits, where they feuded over the tag belts and it wasn't even in matches. You know what I mean?
They fought ninjas.
Basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's clearly Vince wants to do stuff with them, but it's like, the whole point on the Indies, they were just like two massive blokes who were unstoppable force. Like, do that and give them the Aliester, and he's got like some really unstoppable minions by his side. Yeah,
there was a bit at the end of the Street Profit, Viking Raiders feud where they had like respect for each other, as if it was earned to the level that Usos and New Day were. And it's like that to me is what they were trying to do, trying to make like these guys respect each other. It's like you would like I remember they jumped into a skip and there was like a like Star Wars type monster that came out or something.
Yeah.
And he was eating a chicken leg that he found in the skip or something like that.
It was
the
weirdest fucking shit. Yeah. Anyway, so it's now 1 apiece between me and Garrett. So that means, Garrett, you need to throw something out for me and Jace.
I do indeed. All right, well, boys. Creative comes to you, and they say, Braun Strowman and Daniel Bryan are long-lost brothers. Make it happen.
Second.
Jace, you will go first.
I need to just have a quick Google.
That is fine.
I just need to have a quick think, but we'll edit around this. Hang on. There we go. Oh, I know.
I rubbed out what I wrote before that, but I wrote The Miz is in a polyamorous relationship with the entire NXT roster. Change that one. I thought maybe that might be a little bit too open-ended, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Braun and Bryan, long-lost brothers. Before I start, can I just say, Braun Strowman's a lot older than I thought he was.
He's nearly 40, right?
37.
Oh, damn.
I thought he was early 30s.
I think this is something that's been pointed out by a lot of like various people. Like WWE brings in all these new talent, and like it's going to be like, oh, these are going to be the future, but a lot of them are like reaching the age where it's like usually they'd be starting to unwind because they're like mid-30s going into 40s.
Well, that new guy that they've just brought in, who's supposedly like a Brock Lesnar type, he's 23.
Yes.
And they will big him up like he's, super old or whatever. But then you got Ben Carter, who's 22.
That's true. I mean, like most of the like big British names like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are still like early to mid-20s. So
Tyler was like, what, 19 when he joined WWE?
When he won the UK title, when he won the tournament.
I read the other day that apparently Vince has introduced a new rule where, unless it's exceptional circumstances, they're not going to sign anyone over the age of 30.
That's stupid. Because then what's the point in having things like the Performance Center or like
it's probably solely like unknowns that are over 30.
Yeah, like exceptional circumstances. Like if they had the chance to sign someone like a Carter, they're going to snap him up straight away. But if
I think Okada is very young as well.
I was gonna say he's not quite at 30, right?
Like
he's 30. He's 33. Okada is 33. Fucking imagine. Jesus, Tanner is like 47. He's at the same age as Cena.
Yeah.
Tanahashi, age 44.
44.
What about Ibushi? He's pretty young, right?
Probably about 30. He might actually be deceptively old.
Yeah, he's been in the business ages, hasn't he?
38.
Damn, I thought he was like just over 30.
Yeah, I think Okada looks older than Ibushi.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah,
Omega's 37. Ready when you are, boys.
Anyway, how I would book Braun and Bryan. I think it's weird that we're using the first name of one and the surname of the other, but
I didn't want to say Daniel. I wrote it down. I wrote Braun and Daniel, and I was like, you'll know who it is, but it just sounds weird.
So I would do it that. Honestly, I don't know. We'll use this storyline with Shane. We'll say Shane is just Gordon Strowman, doesn't like him, wants any excuse to fire him. So he starts digging into his past. And he's like...
He's trying to cancel Braun.
It's like, has he ever been arrested? No. Has he ever... When he was doing strongman, did he take steroids? No.
He just digs up some racist tweets.
Yeah, he's just looking for anything, and then he finds out that somehow, because Shane's a billionaire, he can afford anything. He finds out that Strowman's mother had an affair that resulted in pregnancy, and that's where Strowman actually comes from. And he spends weeks just goading him, saying, you're a bastard, your dad's not your dad, your mum's a whore, all this shit. Strowman's like, have you met your dad? And it goes on for...
That's actually a really good promo. That's genuinely, right? Like, that would be a fucking top-notch promo.
Just, oh!
And this is going on for weeks, and he's like, all right, then if my dad's not my dad, who is my dad? And he's like, oh, I've got the name of the person here. You've got a brother. Actually, you've got a half-brother. You know him very well. You've worked with him. You've fought against him, and you've tagged with him. Because I'm sure they'll have had a tag match at some point.
Yeah.
All right, who is it? I don't know Daniel Bryan's dad's actual name, so it's John Bryan. It's Willie Bryan. I just get a Willie. And that's how you book it. And it's just like, and then you have it a bit like Team Hell No, where they're just trying to learn to work together for so many weeks. Just You keep Dr. Shelby out of it, though. He can fuck off. And then it's just them two trying to learn to work together and trying to become a family. And I'm actually going to use this to get Braun properly over as a heel. It takes, I'd say this goes on for about a year of them just getting closer and closer to eventually they actually finally start embracing each other as brothers. Strowman's looking down but also looking up at Bryan because Bryan's the older one. And just when it looks like they've won the tag belts and Bryan's going for the world title against Reigns. And just when it looks like Bryan's about to win, Strowman gets in the ring, power slam, turns heel on Bryan, and then he used Bryan to elevate him and carry him to an amazing match and get Strowman over as the monster heel he actually should be.
I like it.
I dig it.
The end.
The promo really sold me though.
I think that might edge you. I can't top that. We've said it all along, Jace. You should be a writer for WWE.
Fired within the day, which is longer than most people probably make it.
Yeah. Why not? Right. So, okay, well, it's nearly on the half past, so I'll just reckon it in mine. So, well, Jay's kind of already touched upon some similar beats and shat all over one angle part to mine, but here we go. So, here we go. Again, like, I think maybe not necessarily use the Shane feud, but you have like a sort of moment where Braun's just kind of become a bit unruly. So you can kind of go back to the point where he's just flipping and destroying big shit, and maybe have a Shane figure or maybe Adam Pearce be like, right, Braun, I've had enough of you coming in and turning the ring on its side and fucking kicking over an ambulance. You need to go to therapy. So who does he send him to? Dr. Marion Shelby, right? Here we go. Perfect. So, because here's the thing, Jess. I don't know about you, but those sketches were fucking funny. I mean, they were.
Well, it's just because it was Daniel Bryan and Kane.
Yeah, but right. So he's there.
Or the Dean Ambrose one. The Dean Ambrose is in anger management.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you say? Toothpaste.
So, like, maybe for like the first week or two, it's just Braun. It's just like what you may do make it extra funny is like Braun's obviously he's a big guy anyway, but make sure the other people are definitely really short people. Just the fact that he's just this tall guy sat in this chair, and Dr. Shelby's next to him, like, and we've got a new person with her this week.
Oh, you hand him like this tiny you have some guy with the talking stick like me, right? And then I hand it to Braun, and then just like tiny little baby hand off camera hands in this like tiny little stick.
So yeah, you have him, just be like, whoa, like, oh, I'm just an angry man, bro, and just like not making much progress. And then like maybe the third week, Dr. Shelby's like takes Braun on side and goes, I was looking for your paperwork, and a former client of mine, turns out you guys share the same parent. And I don't know, pick a mum or dad, whatever. And then the next week comes in and everyone's like, well, is it going to be Kane? Is it going to be Daniel Bryan? And of course it's Daniel Bryan. And and then basically Bryan's angle for the next few weeks in these promos is that I had to go through anger management as well, Braun. I'm going to help my newfound brother through this. So you have like them do like maybe trust exercises and things like that. Like I like the idea of doing the trust fall, but Bryan's the one having to catch Braun. Little things like that, just to like build it up, and then things that sort of help work on Braun's anger management. Doesn't flip things over anymore. He's like a bad guy. But it turns out this has been Bryan's plan all along, is just to gain Braun's trust. And then what you do is, again, maybe create, like, at first it's just them two, and Bryan's basically just directing Braun. He's like, making it seem like, oh, you don't need to be this kind of guy. But when someone crosses Bryan, he's like, Braun, fucking go flip his car over or something like that. He's using Braun like that. And then what happens is Bryan gets so mad power, then eventually you bring back Redbeard. So then it's a bit like the Wyatt family, but without Bray, and you went to a program with Bray. So Bryan's finally getting a bit of revenge there because they never really properly resolved that.
Okay.
They had that cage match kind of thing. And then now it's the tables of turn. So instead of Bray having all the people, it's Bryan who's got all the Wyatt family, obviously, with what they've got left. So I'd lead down to that route. I'm having kind of trouble ending it, but I think the obvious ending is that Braun would eventually kind of come to the fact that he's been manipulated by his brother, his like smaller brother, and you can just lead to them having a match at Mania.
Okay, I dig it. There was one thing that would have got you the win, and that's if you would have said, and it turns out that Bryan faked them being brothers all along, or something like that. He changed the records. There's a bit of a heel move of me to put that out, but that would have been the cream of the crop. But nah, I'm loving the Shane like dissing Braun's dad, and then Braun just like, have you met Mr. McMahon? I'll have to give it to Jace, which does mean it is 1 point apiece.
I have not thought this far ahead on how we'd rectify this.
Do you know what I would have added to yours, Greg? I would have added like a montage of like Strowman going back and like writing all the trucks that he's kicked over, and have a bit where he's like, Bryan's like trying to teach him to control his anger, and he looks like he's going to lose his temper, and then he just cuts to Bryan, and Bryan's just there like, and then Strowman like he's like got an ambulance half tipped, and Bryan's so he's just like,
no, that's what you do. He just goes no, and he puts it back down and just goes yes.
You know the
Strowman gets confused, so he's like,
you know the classic like pre-match things where it's like this guy versus this guy, where they go like, right? You have their tag team one be twins, so like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. So you've got Daniel Bryan like kind of leaning against him like that. That's what I do. I have the same montage where he's like, no, yes, where they're picking out their like ring gear and they go to like stores and try on outfits and stuff. I'd have them have their childhood, right? Yeah, have their childhood now, because like they were neglected by the same dad or something like that.
No, it's just be like we're like making up for lost time. So it's like,
yeah, they go and play catch. They go and play like fucking. They go and play GoldenEye, like 2-player. Braun is like lying on the ground, just like kicking his legs back like this.
I like just tie it into Daniel Bryan's veganism. Like they go out for food. Braun just like there with like a big steak, and then there's Bryan, which is like a plate of vegetables.
Yeah. Oh, do like a bunch of scenes from like Step Brothers or something.
Yeah. They make bunk beds.
Yeah, and Braun's on the top
and it
just
drops.
I really want this to happen now.
I'll email it to WWE and be like, you can use it if you want.
Hashtag Bearhug Club for WWE.
Bombard them with this, and then bombard them to get
Bo Dallas back. Here's the extended version of the story. There's a third brother. It's Nicholas from that WrestleMania, that child Nicholas. It's Braun, Daniel, and Nicholas Bryan.
I dig it. Right. How are we going to determine this if all three of us have got a point?
Carry it over to next time.
That's the same as just not doing anything because it's all 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
in my head.
Whoever gets closest gets it.
Wait, what?
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. Whoever gets closest.
If you think of a number between 1 and 3, then you can win as well if we don't get it.
Well, I can win as well. I could still guess the right number out of 100.
It's your number.
When we were putting this together, I just didn't envision a three-way tie for some reason.
I think I've broke Garrett.
I wish I wish this could stay in, but this is just going to make us look so incompetent.
We are.
We are.
We are incompetent. Okay.
This is why they tune in. They know we're just a bunch of idiots.
Hang on.
Hashtag Bearhug Club for Writers Room.
Okay. Hold on. I'm sending this to you guys. Oh, shit.
Send it in the private or Facebook?
Facebook. I goofed it. Hold on. It is a random WWE wrestler generator.
Okay.
It will randomly generate you a wrestler from WWE.
Okay. Can I just have the first one that's come up?
No, we all have to hit randomize.
Oh, I had Honky Tonk Man.
And then we quickly do a 3-way match. We each get like 30 seconds to be like, I do this move, I do this move, I do this move, and then at the end of it, we all be like, nah, I think this person would win. We're just yes and, so I can be like, and then Elizabeth runs in. I don't know. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, randomize.
Facebook's kicked us out.
Oh, you're screwed, by the way.
I don't know. I think you might be screwed.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I hold on? Can I share my screen?
Don't come at me with James Ellsworth.
Worse.
Can I share it for you? Probably not.
I don't think so. Share screen.
Dennis Waterman.
There you go. I'm sharing the screen.
I can't see it.
It should be there. It says.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Add stream.
I got John Cena.
Oh, you bitch. Right, hang on. I got. Wait for it. The hell? Ah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
See. Yeah. See.
All right. So it's John Cena against Bray Wyatt against.
Unfortunately, I can't share the screen because my computer will not let me log on to Facebook for some reason. So
I'm going to do a randomizer for you.
Oh my God! Oh! You bitch!
How? Like on my first, when it loaded up, it was like.
Mine was Shawn Michaels.
I can't remember who it was, but it was just. Shawn Michaels has been good too. All right. Maybe this isn't a very balanced one because we're all like
this is all
5-star.
Very elite. Yeah.
All right, the match opens. They all enter the ring. Bell goes ding ding ding, and John Cena is in full like Super Cena mode, right?
Full fruity.
Absolutely roided out to fuck. And he stares down CM Punk because of their history, right? He's trying to. Is this Bray Wyatt or is this the Fiend?
Well, technically, Bray Wyatt is both.
All right. Well, is he in the ring? I'll let you choose. Is he in the ring as Bray Wyatt or is he in the ring as the Fiend?
He's Bray Wyatt for now.
All right. Well, he's wary of him because he did lose to him. But he's trying to relive the the Money in the Bank Punk match and things like that. Trying to reignite that rivalry. So he just tries to whack out some classics. They lock up, they break up. All the while he's like wary of Bray Wyatt behind him. And he goes for the AA very soon onto CM Punk, but Bray Wyatt pulls CM Punk off. And counter
to that, Bray Wyatt, instead of just pulling him off, just runs in and does that diving crossbody he does. Just wipes them both down.
Yeah, I dig that. All right, fine. Yes, and All right, he goes straight away for the pin, but Cena super Cena's him out, just throws him up. And anyone jump in with your wrestler?
So who's left in the ring? Is it John Cena or CM Punk?
They're both in the ring, I think.
I
So
thought someone got pressed out.
I want to say Punk. He's been away for a while. He just goes, "Fuck this," and just walks off.
Just leaves.
He just goes. I don't know why the WWE title's there, but he just grabs it and goes, "Fuck you, Vince. See you later."
All right.
Because triple threat, no count out, no disqualifications.
As he's going up the entrance ramp, though, this is where I can inject the Fiend a bit. You know, they do the thing with the lights slowly trickle down, power cut noise.
Okay.
And then that's when you have the "Let Me In" appear, and that scares Punk enough that he runs back to the ring. No, he backs up to the ring, just sees just the normal Bray Wyatt who clubs him from behind. And then that's me getting my Fiend cameo out of the way. So
and then he just goes back to Bray Wyatt, or
well, no, because the Fiend doesn't come out. You're just basically having the implication that if Punk's going to run away to the back, the Fiend could be waiting for him. You're just scaring Punk back to the ring, into the waiting arms of Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
All right. So well, now that they're
Bray and Punk are just going to brawl outside. You know, he's going to do the classic into the guardrail, into the other one.
All right. Well,
maybe
John
outside, rolls Punk back in the ring.
No, John, before they roll back in the ring. No, okay, he rolls Punk back in the ring, and as he's rolling him in, John Cena does a tope con hilo over onto Bray Wyatt, and then does that super Cena slide in, and then sets up in the corner in that Cena way, like that, where he kind of has his arms behind him, and then he does this for his super special, whatever that move is. That has never been kicked out of, I think. I don't remember. Probably has. And sets up to hit Punk with that, and does, and then goes for the 1, 2, 3.
But
until
Bray Wyatt is back into the ring, breaks up the pin, picks up Cena, tries to go for the Sister Abigail, but Cena pushes him off into the ropes. Bray comes back, ducks a clothesline from Cena, hits another crossbody. Then it's been a while. I don't know if he does this much anymore, so he does the whole crab walk thing. Must be quite hard in the sweater vest, but whatever. And just edges towards Punk, who's just been kind of not doing a lot in this match. Punk, sort your life out. What are you doing?
He's biding his time.
Okay.
But I think after he's done the crab walk, and then Punk's just like got up, had a bit of a ooh.
Oh, you spooky bastard!
Oh, I'm in a match. Oh.
I'm in the ultimate Spookum match. What's going on?
I think he does the don't do that.
Just peppers him.
Peppers him around the chops.
While in the crowd. Oh.
I think Punk during this match should just like not give a shit about kayfabe.
I was gonna say, is this because it's Punk's return to wrestling? Is it just gonna be him just not giving what he could be? He's just like, yeah, I'm back. Not gonna really try.
No, I think with this you do like this is just a payday, and then during the course of the match, he finds his love for it again.
Yeah, I could buy that.
But then he hits the classics. He hits the running knee in the corner into the bulldog. He hits Cena with a pile driver, and he doesn't win with the go to sleep because he's going to win. You know, CM Punk's going to win. He's not coming back. He's not going to win.
Don't know. He's a tradition. He's probably, even though he's probably lost his edge for it, he's still very much a traditionalist. Plus, he's not. It wasn't like he really cared. The only reason he really hated losing before he left is because he kept losing to people who were part timers who would just fuck off after they beat him, and he'd be like, "Well, who the fuck am I fighting now?" At least with this, it's like Cena's part timer now, but Bray Wyatt.
So is Bray Wyatt. When was the last time you saw him?
He's more full-time than Cena. This is his only gig. He's just letting Alexa Bliss have all the spookums for now. This is going so off the rails. It was going so well.
John Cena lifts up both Punk and Bray, and he goes for the double AA. Lights go out, come back on, and it's Alexa Bliss on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He looks up at her. She does a little spookum, and then he just goes, and then does it anyway. Crowd pops heavy.
John Cena heels her.
Yes.
And then she's on the ground. Bray runs at him. AA's him. They're both on the ground, right? And he goes, right? Does a thing. Is about to do it when Punk also runs at, and he gets an AA as well.
Lads.
They're all three are on the ground, and he's like, and then just put in, edit another fist, edit a third fist coming up, and then he with three fists, he does the "you can't see me," and then two fists, you can't see me, like runs across, one fist down on Alexa Bliss, one fist down on Bray Wyatt, and headbutts CM Punk. And then,
he'd mess up his nice new quiff.
I feel like by the point of this match, he's probably balding.
Yeah,
fully.
I've realized I've dropped a bit of a huge bollock here because not only is this just CM Punk's return match, this is the first match Cena and Wyatt have had since Cena's character was essentially erased from wrestling following the Firefly Funhouse. Bear with. I'm going to try and tie it into that, but I feel like at this point we've already gone too far.
This is in the past. This is an alternate universe.
History doesn't exist in WWE.
This is very true. They write the history book.
Yeah, if Cena comes back tomorrow, they won't care.
Yeah, that's very true.
I think the only time they've given a shit about John Cena's history is when it was the year-long feud with The Rock.
Yeah,
because they were constantly mentioning he lost to The Rock. He lost to The Rock, you know. Did you know he lost to The Rock?
Did he? Nah, you're lying.
CM Punk turns around and goes, "You know, you lost to The Rock." And this enrages Cena, and then he goes for the pin.
But then lights go out again, and there's more
shenanigans. Lights go out again. And then the lights come back on, and it's the Nexus.
Nexus return confirmed.
Nexus return confirmed. Except this time, Wade Barrett and CM Punk get along. There's none of this.
They make out in the middle of the ring and then decide to go and live on a farm somewhere.
In Surrey.
Why Surrey? Then AJ Lee comes out. Punk hands her divorce papers.
And he joins the throuple in Surrey.
And then Bray Wyatt
making serious points, and then it just descends into chaos.
And then seeing that, CM Punk has now gone off to live with Barrett and Lee on a farm in Surrey.
How long do you think this match is going on?
It's the sister.
This is
Abigail.
literally 3 minutes. This is 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's the sister Abigail on Cena.
Oh, this is the toilet break match. To be honest with you, this is a piss break match.
Yeah. It's the sister Abigail and Cena. 1, 2, 3.
It's an elimination match. Punk is still in this.
And then 20 years as it goes by.
And then just as Punk gets the pin on Cena, and we think Punk has won, or whoever it is that is left, Shane McMahon comes out and says, "I'm actually the fourth man," and he wins, and it is the greatest in the world. And I think you'll all agree, Shane wins. Shane wins.
And then he spends the next few weeks with his trophy that he won all those years
underground.
ago. but wears it on his head like a hat.
Yes, on Raw Underground.
Yes.
I'd love to see Shane with that massive with the what was it, the
Best of the
massive
world one.
trophy they had,
Best in the world.
Saudi, no, the massive one, like the Andre the Giant sized one, wearing that on his head.
Which one was that? The one with the swords on it.
Yeah.
Was it the Greatest Royal Rumble one? That was pretty.
Oh yeah, that was a belt and a trophy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Might have been that one.
Do you reckon Braun has that belt, like just on his wall or something?
No,
And he's
no way. That was gifted. That was gifted to one of the princes, 100%.
I mean,
Braun Strowman is the longest reigning champion currently in WWE. He never lost that Greatest Royal Rumble belt.
that's a horrible thought. Why would you do this to me? Why? Okay, who won?
Shane.
Shane wins. Shane
So
wins.
we still end in a 3-way tie.
We'll play second.
Because how can you compare it to the big Shane O'Mac?
Big Vinnie Mac.
Here we go.
I'm dancing, Dad. I'm dancing.
Anyway, as indecisive as that was quite a lot of fun. I quite enjoyed that though.
Yes.
I thought that was fun. Maybe next time we'll have a determined winner. If not, we'll just keep on going. Just keep going till one day we will beat Shane, but we won't. But we might. But we won't.
You can't beat Shane. He's the best in the world.
Best in the world. He's got a fucking trophy. Wears it like a hat.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I heard that. Amongst this massive pile of sneakers. Anyway, everyone, thank you for tuning in again this week. Just to get the quick plugs out the way. If you want to find us on Facebook and YouTube, it's the Bearhug Club Podcast, Bearhug Club Pod on Instagram, and Bearhug Club on Twitter. Join us next week where we'll begin doing something a little different, where we're going to be doing a bit of a history of Progress Wrestling, as well as kind of looking at their recent controversies and seeing where they're going to go now that they've returned. So really looking forward to that one. But other than that, thanks for listening, guys, and take care. See ya.
Goodbye.